do you think AUSTRAC's going to have that sort of incentive structure right in terms of, hey, if people are just not doing it, they're going to get decent fines, things like that?
I think you'll see more naming and shaming. I don't necessarily think AUSTRAC's going to come down very hard on people with enforcement action.
Mm,
Certainly not, I've spoken at a few industry events and things like that where accountants are terrified or lawyers or real estate agents are terrified of billion-dollar fines. That's not happening anytime
no.
soon. From a common sense perspective, right? AUSTRAC's not trying to nuke anyone out of the water. That's not a bad guy. Um, I think though. A broad criticism I've always had of the regime actually is that we don't have incentives, we have disincentives. There's no carrot,
Mm,
only stick. But AUSTRAC has different size sticks at the moment, and that's at least a move in the positive direction. Being named and shamed, getting what you'd call like a parking fine or a speeding ticket, a slap on the wrist, whatever you want to call it, as opposed to a massive regulatory fine that ends your career or cost you millions and millions of dollars. I think that's going to be really persuasive. And I think that these firms probably haven't got the experience yet, but will learn pretty quickly just how much a shot over the bow can still impact your business. Like people want to be doing what they like, lawyers want to be representing clients and upholding the rule of law. Real estate agents want to be moving properties. Accountants want to be helping people get tax efficient structures. If you get a shot over the bow from the regulator, which is one of the things that I expect they'll start doing more and more, you're going to find it hard to open a bank account. You're going to find it hard to participate in industry events on a level footing. Some clients may refuse to work with you because there's a reputational risk associated with you. All of this sort of stuff that they haven't really had to contend with before. It's very real and it impacts the business. And it's a very frustrating thing to be able to see that, okay, we made a mistake and we've worked through it, but then you're gonna continue to feel the ramifications of that.
That's an interesting one because that will pop up in adverse media searches for anyone else trying to AML you, as your firm.
I,
So yeah, you want to avoid that reputational
there's things,
damage.
well, yeah, absolutely, but also the ability, again, it is a little contradictory to the aim, which is everyone helps one another get better at finding bad guys.
Mm,
But you would find your entrance to elected business groups potentially compromised or maybe revoked if you, in particular, have been a laggard in this sort of area. There's all sorts of implications for this sort of stuff. I reckon it's going to be really. I mean, I've got my popcorn.
mm.
I'm very interested to see where it goes. No one's. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's going to jail or you
No, yeah.
getting billion-dollar fines, but there's going to be some outcomes for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I do think though is AUSTRAC has already indicated that they're going to be taking like a first education first sort of stance, and I don't think you'll find them coming down like a ton of bricks on anyone in on day zero or day three. Um, Try to get it right is probably going to be more important than technically getting it right at the start at least.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. The other countries are they're a bit less tolerant now because it's been so long that it's been in. But yeah, I think they took the same approach. It was lighter, lighter, lighter. But it's like, okay, now you need to sort of step things up. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's funny you say that incentive side of things. I've always thought that any sort of fines should go back into a pot to help support other regulate the rest of the regulated sector. I think that would be a really cool thing to be able to do. But obviously, everyone wants that fine money to go somewhere else. But yeah, I think any fine should actually go back to regulated entities as a sort of way to show some carrot with this. But I'll digress from that point.
Well, it's just well, we're on it though because yeah, I don't disagree. Or to the regulator and the funding of future prosecutions,
Yeah,
right? But another thing that's very interesting in this regime is it's supported. It's not inappropriate, but it's supported largely by levies upon the biggest reporters. So actually, success is its own punishment in this. If you're a really large, successful business that files a lot of reports with the regulator because you're doing the needful you're going to pay. Like literally, you're going to pay a
yeah.
levy. So yeah, I think the incentive structure of AML the world over, not just in Australia and New Zealand and APAC. I think it really could do with some strategic sort of redesign.
Creative thinking.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.